This is the Dodgers Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, place to hang out when every game is done. That one came down to the wire, but not the outcome, again, that we were hoping for. I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA, dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Football season is around the corner. Visit FanDuel.com or use their app and start planning your futures bets now. Well, one thing is for sure. The Angels have a different attitude when they play the Dodgers. And the same can be said for the Dodgers. They have a different attitude. At least today, the Dodgers showed some fight, some gumption, battling back a couple of times. That was good. They even led late thanks to Shohei Ohtani with a blast, a mammoth shot. That was the highlight of the game without a doubt. But Vesia couldn't get it done. Kasparius made it interesting. And then Joe Adell dinked one over the third baseman's head after a crazy, weird sacrifice bunt that didn't roll foul, stayed fair, turned into a base hit. It's just like, again, the breaks are beating the boys with the Dodgers. But more than anything, here's the biggest egregious error to me. You cannot not score in extra innings on the road. You can't. You have to. You got to score. And with the courtesy runner, or the ghost runner, whatever they call it now, you got a guy at second base. You can't leave him out there. Even though he got the third on a sac fly, or not really a sac fly, but a fly ball, you know, moving that guy over is the play. You can't leave him out there. It's just unforgivable. It's not a winning mentality. The Dodgers, of course, don't know how to play small ball, don't want to play small ball, don't give two craps about trying to play small ball. They just want to hit home runs. And it was fun. It was exciting. It was awesome. Yes, that home run from Ohtani was a blast. But it's not, you know, you can't rely on the home run all the time to win games. There are times when you have to do other things. History Man has something long to say here. Let's read it together. When you're the Dodgers, you're everyone's target. Everyone will play their best against this team because the Dodgers are the defending champions. The Dodgers need to start playing like champions. Amen. That's so true. Yeah, absolutely. Again, they did show some heart tonight. But in the end, what was it good for? A loss. One run. It doesn't matter. 1, 10. Still a loss in the wins and loss column, where tonight the Dodgers are now tied with the San Diego Padres. The Padres have caught us. So we're tied for first place. And here, Craig, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Craig. Angels bunted a man to third, Dodgers swang away. Yeah, exactly. These are the kind of small things that you kind of go, that's who they are. And, you know, there are a bunch of different philosophies when you look at the Dodgers and say, that's not their MO. It's not in their DNA to play small ball. They are a team with MVPs at the top of the lineup, 3 of them. They are a team that, when it's hot, can roll you by 15. Yeah, we know that. And we felt like that's where we were just a couple days ago after 2 big ones against the Blue Jays. But then they left one on the table in game 3, and then they show up to this series, lay an egg last night. At least tonight, they had some offense, but they didn't win the game. Empty, flat, when it mattered. there's so many parts of it to me that are frustrating because I was like, cool, Shohei hit a blast. And I even, I verbally, cheered when that happened. I was like, holy cow. I mean, that was an eye-popping home run. But it was tempered with, yeah, but that doesn't mean they win the game. It's not a walk-off. Although Eric Karros thought it was. He's like, oh, game-winning home run. It's not a walk-off, but, it's a game-winning home run. Easy. Slow down. Ninth inning was ugly. Leadoff single. Vesia just left the ball over the plate too much. I mean, that was a nice piece of hitting by that guy. Got his hands inside the ball. Who was that? Was before Ohtani. Oh, Rengifo. Good hitter. Nice. Did what needed to be done. Got on base. Then Ohtani walks after being ahead 0-2. That's the one right there. You're 0-2 on the guy, and then you throw 3 balls up in the zone, and then it walks him. Bases loaded. Then he brings in Kasparias, and that was fantastic what Kasparias did there in the ninth. Goes down 3-0 to Taylor Ward, and then gets a favorable call. I'm sure Angel fans would have been ticked off about that had they lost this game, because you could argue that was a ball. It was very tight, but per the square on the screen, it looked like a ball, which would have been ball 4, game-winning walk-off walk. But then Kasparias threw another strike and then struck out Ward to send it into extras. Yeah, Jose, everyone. Look, Jose, I don't know how many times I got to get into the conversation about balls and strikes. We have a computer that will tell us whether there's a ball or strike. Probably next year, there will be a challenge system in place. I have argued we don't even need that. Just put an earpiece in the umpire's ear and he'll get a beep. If it's a strike, he'll get nothing if it's a ball. They don't want to do that. They want these guys to still have jobs, I guess. They don't want to take they don't want to completely neuter them. So they're going to make it into a challenge system. Fine. Better than nothing. You challenge that one right there. Game over. Dodgers lose. They lost anyway, but Greg Gallegos, Conforto's throw to third instead of the cutoff man, allowed a run to score. That hurt. Yeah. It's just a lot of little things right now are stacking up that are costing the Dodgers. So in a situation like this, we are microscopically analyzing these things because it was a loss. It would be a completely different conversation, a completely different show if the Dodgers won. We'd be all excited about Shohei Ohtani, and yeah, 43rd home run of the season. Does he deserve player of the game nod for that? That was his only hit. Freeman 2 hits, Teo 2 hits, Pages 2 hits, Dalton Rushing 2 hits. I don't even know who to give player of the game to. We could do this.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I think I already mentioned it. The game was won or lost in extra innings because the Dodgers did not score that run, and the Angels sacrificed the guy over, tried to sacrifice him over, turned into a base hit because it was a nice bunt that stayed on the baseline. So you got first and third, no out. Then up comes I don't even know who got that game. Oh, was it Moore? I don't even know who got the game-winning hit. Joe Adele. Yeah, it was a good hitter. Nice at bat. Battled the whole time. And then he fought off some pitches, down in the count, battled his way back, and knocked a squeaker over the head of Max Muncy at third for the game winner. So that was the turning point right there. But more specifically, the Dodgers not scoring was, to me, the sore thumb of this game. And you could add on with Alex Vesia loading the bases up 1 in the 9th inning. Got to give the Angels credit. I mean, they battled back. down one. After that, I mean, that place, the Big A was going crazy after Shohei Ohtani hit that home run. You got to imagine that it wasn't just Dodger fans cheering that home run, because most Angel fans are still Shohei Ohtani fans. It's hard not to root for Shohei, especially when he does that. Scorches one down the line. So for them to come back from that, you know, when the life is sucked out of the building or it's in favor of the opposition, the visiting team, for them to battle back, you give them credit. They showed heart. 7-6 the final in 10. They've now beat the Dodgers 5 times in a row, 2 series in a row, and the Dodgers are tied with the Padres. First place in the West, as the Padres are rolling and the Dodgers are back into a funk. Please extend. Vesia ruined Ohtani's home run. He did. Please extend Roberts. I'm assuming that's a Padre fan. This guy's handle is Dodgers suck. Extend Rojas, please. He just wants extend Conforto, please. He's just thriving on the Dodgers' misery right now. Thanks for pointing this out. 9 games up, gone. Yeah. Not looking good right now. Not looking good, especially with the Padres coming to town to start a 3-game series after tomorrow. It's the Locked On Dodgers podcast, the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. It's where you find Travis Rogers Monday through Friday with the Locked On Dodgers daily podcast. I am Pete Fox. We'll take a break, come back, and try to award a player of the game. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by OpenPhone. If you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency like a burst pipe and the first number of a plumber didn't answer. What'd you do? Call the next one. That's what I do. It's not just for plumbers. Any sort of service issue. If I don't already have a contract with you, I'm on to the next one. If you have an automated system where you don't have a human being, on to the next one. This is where OpenPhone is big. They have a reliable business line for you, and that is so important. That's why you need OpenPhone. It's the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app or your phone or computer. OpenPhone is offering Locked On Dodgers postcast listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. That's openphone.com, openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. And if you have an existing number with another service, OpenPhone will port them over at no extra charge. OpenPhone, no missed calls, no missed customers. Tonight's episode also brought to you by Game Day Hue. Game Day Hue makes clean, no logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile styles that keep you looking smart on game day or on the course or anywhere in between. Right now, you can get 15% off with the code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. Game Day and then HUE.com. These are just sharp looking, classy looking clothes where you can wear them just about anywhere to support your team. Like in the office, casual Friday, as football season is right around the corner. You can't wear a football jersey to work most of the time, so you need something like this. The code even stacks on bundle deals. So now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's Game Day Hue, code MLB15. And today's episode also brought to you by FanDuel. August 26th is officially FanDuel Futures Day, brand new holiday for futures for fans of football who live for bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP shot early, eyeing a long shot division winner, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ before week 1, now is the time. This is your moment. Visit FanDuel.com or the FanDuel app. Start planning your futures bets now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, Play your game. Dodgers 7-6 today. It's just frustrating. It really is. A 58 win team. Dodgers now 68-52. I don't know what it is. The history man brought up a good point. Everyone's got the Dodgers circled. Everyone's gunning for them as they're the champions. It just feels like they don't have that fire under their butt. They should be dominating this team and any team that is not in the playoff hunt, any team that has an inferior sub 500 record. Let's look at the starting pitching real quick. And can we name EMMET SHEEHAN the player of the game? No, we cannot. 5 hits over 5 innings, struck out 6. He did it with the changeup. 2 of them came on the change, 2 on the 4-seam, and 2 on the slider. Just 1 home run and only 2 walks. It was a decent outing. It kept them in the game, but it wasn't enough to win it for him or, keep them in front. Maderos started for the Angels. He has a 5.6 ERA. Why are they not all over him? They got 3 runs. They fell down 3-1 and then battled back to tie it at 3 and then fell down 4-3 and then 5-3 and then battled back to tie it. So, they showed some heart today. I guess we can feel that is positive. Now it's just try not to get swept because we do not want to go into a series against the Padres after being swept by the Angels. The one thing you could say, though, if that does happen, they would be fired up. They'd have some initiative. They'd want to prove something, but it's just, not the look you're going for against the Padres now that these 2 teams are tied for first place in the West. If you don't get your acting gear tomorrow, you could be going into that series down a game to the Padres because the Giants are just garbage now and the Padres are kicking them in the backside one after the other. So Chris Lee says Dean should have stole home. Wouldn't make a difference if he got out. Yeah, there's just a black cloud hanging over this team's head right now, and I don't know how you get out from underneath it. It feels like the old, we used the Bull Durham analogy yesterday with the bats on the shower, lollygaggers. Maybe they need a rain out. I don't know. Jumbling the lineup, would that help? The Dodgers out hit the Angels today 11-9. So they did plenty and it wasn't terrible. Well, it wasn't good either. Runners in scoring position, 2 of 10. They left 8 on base. The Angels left 9 on base, but 4 of 11 with runners in scoring position. So just clutch, more clutch than the Angels. Freddie was 0 for 1. Muncy was 0 for 3. Teo was 2 for 2. So let's do this real quick because after yesterday, when Dave Roberts kind of basically said he hasn't seen competitive at bats from Teoscar in a while, and that's why he sat him yesterday.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
For the Dodgers, we'll give it to Teoscar Hernandez. 2 for 5, 2 RBI. He did strike out twice, but productive after not playing yesterday. So give Dave Roberts a little bit of credit there for maneuvering the lineup in his favor and helped him out a little bit, though, but not enough. 7-6 the final. Kenley Jansen had a stellar record against Shohei Ohtani. I don't know if you caught that. In 7 appearances, Shohei was 0 for 7 with 4 Ks prior to the home run today. But again, it's all for naught. Just a big waste. So the Dodgers really have some soul searching to do. I still feel like, the Dodgers being the wild card team isn't the worst thing, but generally speaking, going into the postseason from a wild card position, it's not a team that was atop that fell down. It's a team that was down and rallied to get into the wild card position. So it's not a positive mental attitude when you are the team that was on top and then you trickle down into the wild card position. So right now the Padres are still the second wild card team and they have a 3.5 game lead. So they're up comfortably there along with the Cubs. Obviously the Brewers are red hot in the Central. So the fact is that it might not be the worst thing for the Dodgers if they can find a way to get some energy and get on a roll and get hot. You know, if they're hot and the Padres are hot, we're good. But if they're garbage and falling apart and can't get out of their own way or can't get out from under this black cloud that they're under right now, then it's curtains for sure. Padres have won 7 of their last 10, while the Dodgers are not so fortunate. What is that last 10 number for them? 4 of their last 10 in the winners column and dropped 3 in a row. And again, back-to-back series to the Angels, 5 in a row against the Halos in the loss column. So let's hope tomorrow they can freaking salvage one, dig one out of the dirt, get a win for my daughter on her 14th birthday, whose name is Brooklyn, named after the Dodgers. So that would be nice for her if the Dodgers could figure out a way to get a win. Shohei Ohtani will start, and Kyle Hendricks goes for the Angels. Oh, the other interesting thing as we wrap up here about the Ohtani day was the home run was magnificent, but it came on the heels of him hitting into a triple play. How does that tell you, or what does that tell you about how the Dodgers are faring these days? It's just if there wasn't bad luck, they'd have no luck at all. 7-6 the final. Again, tomorrow underway at 6:38 for the finale. Ohtani will take on Kyle Hendricks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I am Pete Fox. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast. Instant reaction right after the game. And don't forget to check out the Daily Dodgers podcast with Travis Rogers Monday through Friday right here on the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And of course, as always, thanks for the comments. Take care. Have a good night. We will talk tomorrow.